What's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of How to Boss on Old School RuneScape Mobile. As you can tell by the title of this video, we are going to be killing the Abyssal Sire, and not just one Abyssal Sire, 216 on task Abyssal Sires. So wish me luck, grab a seat, get comfortable because it's going to be a long video. The Abyssal Sire is combat level 350. Its max hit is 66 and a 96 with the explosion. It does poison, and its main attack style is going to be with melee. The Abyssal Sire requires level 85 Slayer to kill it. It grants 450 Slayer experience per kill, and it has 400 hit points. The most notable drop from the Abyssal Sire is going to be an Unsired, which has a drop rate of 1 in 100, and it's used to roll a separate drop table. And from the Unsired, this is the drop table that you can get, and the drop rate per each item. And this is what the jar of miasma looks like in your POH display case. And if you examine it, a large display of the Abyssal Sire in his miasmic layer, if I'm saying that right. I think it looks pretty cool. Not my favorite, but it's still pretty cool. So let's go ahead and take a look at the collection log and see where we stand with the Abyssal Sire. So in total, we've gotten 4 items. I don't think the whips have been gotten from the actual Abyssal Sire, but we've gotten 2 Unsireds at only 165 KC, which is under the drop rate, so we got pretty lucky on that. No Abyssal Head. We've gotten 1 of the Abyssal Bludgeon pieces. I believe it's the spine. We've gotten the Abyssal Dagger, and that's pretty much it. That's all we've gotten from the Abyssal Sire. The rest of the whips that we've gotten were actually from the Abyssal Demons. Hopefully we can get a couple of Unsireds this task, as it's 216, so we should get at least 1, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we should get 1 Unsired from this Abyssal Demon task. You are going to need a magic spell to awaken the Abyssal Demon, and you're going to need the shadow spells from the Ancient Magic spellbook. You have Shadow Rush, you have Shadow Burst, Shadow Blitz, and Shadow Barrage. Using Shadow Rush gives you a 25% chance of actually stunning the Abyssal Sire in the first phase, 50% for Shadow Burst, 75% for Blitz, and 100% for Shadow Barrage. And now let's talk about gear. I am taking obviously a Slayer helmet imbued, and I'm taking a Necklace of Anguish, Armadillo chestplate, Bandos tassets, Pegasian boots, Berserker ring imbued, Barrels gloves, Toxic blowpipe, an Ava's assembler, and an Unholy blessing. And in the blowpipe I have dragon darts and obviously my scales, but I need to get more dragon darts. But for the first phase of the fight, I'm actually going to be using range, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. But I will be using the arc light, and I have it fully charged at 10,000 charges. And the second part of the fight is actually going to be melee, so I'm going to be bringing a melee switch, which is going to consist of the arc light, Bandos chestplate, fire cape, defender, and I'm going to bring a BGS Bandos Godsword for the special attack. So for the first part of the fight, we're going to be doing range, and the second part of the fight we're going to be doing melee, and this is the setup that we're going to be taking with us. And yes, this is super expensive gear, but I will be showing a more budget setup for the Abyssal Sire here in a second. But this is just what I'm taking with me, almost all best in slot items. Alright, so for the budget setup, we're going to be using a Slayer helmet, we're going to be using a Fury, Torag's plate body and legs, Dragon boots, Berserker ring, Defender, Arata's blessing, a fire cape, arc light, and Barrels gloves. And in the inventory, we're going to be using a range switch, which is going to consist of Blessed D'hide top and bottom, an Ava's assembler or an accumulator, and if you can't afford a Dragon Warhammer or a BGS, a Bandos Godsword, an arc light special attack will be just as good. Alright, so for the inventory, as you can tell in our inventory, we have the arc light, we have our Bandos chestplate, we have our fire cape, we have a amulet of torture, primordial boots, dragon defender, and a bunch of manta rays, Bandos god sword. We have one antidote plus 4 dose. We have one super combat potion 4 dose, one prayer potion 4 dose, and a stamina potion 4 dose. And we have a rune pouch, and inside the rune pouch we have death runes, blood runes, fire runes, and we have air runes in our inventory so we can cast Shadow Barrage on the Abyssal Sire. We also have a Draymond Staff and teleports to our POH to get to the Abyssal Sire. And the easiest way to get to the Abyssal Sire is going to be using the fairy rings either in your POH or any of them located throughout Gielinor. The code to get to the Abyssal Sire is going to be DIP, just like that. And you're going to teleport straight there. Once you get here, you'll be located directly south of the Fountain of Consumption. And here's a nice little map of where you're going to be at the fairy ring. And you can pick either of the 4 Abyssal Sires that are here. In case you see a world that's busy, you can just run to another one or just hop to a different world. It doesn't matter, whatever you want to do. It's super easy to get to, and there's no monsters that are going to attack you while you're running to the Abyssal Sire. Now, let's go ahead and make our way up to one of the Abyssal Sires. Alrighty then, so welcome to the Abyssal Sire lair, where you're going to be killing hundreds if not thousands of Abyssal Sires. So let's go ahead and examine the Abyssal Sire, and it says a higher order of Abyssal Demon. And this is pretty much the area where you're going to be at. Like I said before, you're going to need a shadow spell and not smoke. Anyways, now that we have our shadow spells, alright, so like I said before, Shadow Rush, 25% chance, Shadow Burst, 50%, Shadow Blitz, 75%, Shadow Barrage, 100% chance of stunning him. So you're going to want to stun the Abyssal Sire, wait for the tentacles to die down, there you go, and now you're going to attack the respiratory system. There's 4 of them located throughout the room, and I'll show you exactly where they're at. This is the first one. Alright, now that it's down, you're going to run across the room and you'll see the second one. Attack the respiratory system. And then you can have your chat box open and it'll tell you when the Abyssal Sire wakes up. And when he wakes up, the tentacles will slap you and hit you in the 30s, if not a little higher. So we're going to knock him back out again, run back south a little bit, and then go directly west and you'll see the other one. Alright, now that that one's dead, the other one is located right across the room, and there it is. Attack it and get it down. Now once you kill this one, you're going to want to switch into your melee setup, equip your BGS Bandos God Sword. So you're going to want to pray Piety and pray for melee, get your special attack on, and attack the Abyssal Sire to knock his defense levels down. Now if you don't hit 2 times, you can teleport, go home, drink from the fountain, and come back. And also he's going to be spawning these little spawns, and if you don't kill them in time, they actually evolve into like scions, and they hit pretty hard. Also, you're going to want to avoid the poison that spawns on the floor. You can just move 2 tiles away from them, and that way they won't hit you. So this is basically the first part of the fight. It isn't too hard, it's actually easier than the second part. So now the second part of the fight is going to start. Now remember, this is a mobile guide. We do not have rune light, so we can't mark tiles on where to stand. So I'll show you the best way to do it while on mobile. So there's 2 spots that you're going to want to stand on while you're fighting the Abyssal Demon in the second phase, and these are both of them. 1 on each foot. Change your prayer to protect from range and avoid the poison spots on the floor at all costs. So you can see that I ran south instead of running from left foot to right foot, and that's because there was too many scions spawned, so I couldn't click from left to right without accidentally clicking on one of them and then not attacking the Abyssal Sire. So continue attacking the Abyssal Sire until he teleports you. When he teleports you, run south and get away from his special attack because he can hit super hard and kill you. Now, avoid the poison spots on the floor, and you can run south, run east, and run back up north to the Abyssal Sire and attack him. The poison spots will only spawn 3 times in this third phase of the fight, and that's pretty much it. And yes, that was a lot to take in just a short amount of time, so we're gonna go ahead and do it again. Now that we have changed into our range gear, we're gonna attack the Abyssal Sire with our shadow spell. Wait for the tentacles to die down, if not they'll hit you like they did to me. So attack this one, run to the other ones, and destroy those. Alright, now that that's done, we're going to go ahead and do another shadow spell on the Abyssal Sire. And we're going to run south and attack the remaining respiratory systems to awaken the Abyssal Sire. Alright, let's move to the next one. Alright, now that that's done, we're going to change back into our melee setup. Drink a little bit of our combat potion. Special attack on, piety and pray from melee, and special attack the Abyssal Sire. And if you don't hit him, you can, like I said before, go back to your POH and restock on special attack. If not, just continue to kill him with the arc light. Alright, so he's going to shoot out a spawn and you'll see the attack animation. Once the spawn comes out, kill the spawn before it turns into a scion, and then it starts attacking you at range, and avoid the poison splats that come onto the floor by moving 2 tiles away from the actual spawn, and continue attacking the Abyssal Sire. Alright, like I said before, once you see the Abyssal Sire moving, you're going to move to either left or the right foot on the Abyssal Sire. With piety on, pray from range, and attack the Abyssal Sire, and as you attack him, you'll move left to right and avoid getting hit by the poison like I didn't do it now. See, I moved 1 tile too far on the left foot and I got hit by the tentacle. So you have 2 basically safe spots where you won't get hit by the tentacle. Once you teleport, you run away and come back down and go over, attack the Abyssal Sire. Move to the left foot, come down, move over 2 spots to the next foot, attack the Abyssal Sire, and repeat. If you follow the guidelines that I'm showing you in this video, you'll get really good at killing the Abyssal Sire. Especially since we're on mobile, we don't have that right click feature where we can just walk from left to right and right click it. So let's do a couple of sped up kills and then we'll show you what loot we get at the end of these 216 kills. Alright, so this is the last kill of our Abyssal Demon task at the Abyssal Sire. We did 216 kills total, and boy, that was rough. Finishing off the last kill with 381 KC. It took me a long time, so let's go ahead and check all the loot that we got from this, and we'll check out that collection log and see where we stand out in the collection log and see if we got any unsireds. Alright, so back at the POH, and we're gonna check the collection log, not the champions log, the collection log. Here we go. And no uniques from 216 Abyssal Demons. Well, Abyssal Sires, I'm sorry. We got not one unique. We just got the basic loot from the Abyssal Sire. And it's pretty disappointing because the last time I got an unsired was at 116 KC. So, yeah. Over 200 dry. I mean, we did get two under 200 KC, but we are 181 dry from getting a unique. So yeah, that's pretty disappointing. So let's go to the GE and check all this loot. Alright, so this is all the loot, all the herbs, all the runes, all the alchables, all the seeds, everything that we got from the unsire except the potatoes, because when I got potato drops, I ended up using them, and some of the restores as well. So alright, so first price check is going to be U seeds, all the stuff. Anyways, 9.9 mil. Not that bad, to be honest, just from regular drops. I think we really didn't make all that much money, but platinum tokens, so I can keep them away from my cash tag. Super restores, magic logs, diamonds, onyx bolt tips, cannonballs, talismans, binding necklaces. And the second price check is going to be 1.2 mil basically. It's only 4k away from 2 mil. So yeah, 1.2 mil in loot, which is alchables, Ranar seeds, and then the potatoes that I ended up eating whenever I got them from the Abyssal Sire. So in total, we ended up getting a nice little green cash stack from the Abyssal Sire, which in total it comes out to be 11,019,311 gold pieces. So we were supposed to get 1.1 mil, but after we sold everything, we made just a little bit less than what we said we were going to get originally. So just the basic loot isn't that bad. If we would have gotten any type of uniques and it was worth some money from the Abyssal Sire, then we would have profited, but we ended up getting extremely unlucky. But with supplies and everything ran up, we ended up making 8.5 mil from 216 Abyssal Sires. The Abyssal Sire is not my favorite boss, so it took me like all week to do this task, because I kept getting logged in and then doing maybe like 6 or 7 kills and then logging out. But not that bad loot from it. We did get extremely unlucky, so whatever. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next time with another mobile video. Peace out.